Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. It is Wednesday, April 5th. We are dealing with a winter storm, a spring blizzard. You know, winter's no longer here, but it still feels like winter.
Yeah.
So once we get through this, there's some better news. We'll get to that in just a second,
Yes.
Dillon. But first, before we dive into those weather headlines, we want to let you know you can watch this Facebook Live every morning on your Facebook live stream and your channel there. So do that. It's between 8 and 9 every day. Also, you can find us on Inforum YouTube, our YouTube channel on Inforum YouTube channel, if I could speak this morning. The weather's got me all goofed up. Anyway, also we make this into a podcast platform. Go to inforum.com/podcast. Look for the Inforum Minute. We're going to talk a lot about closures in a second. But Dillon, first, let's get to the top story. Of course, the weather is still brutal this morning.
Yeah, it's rough out there. The wind has picked up. Snow has been light, and we have picked up 6.5 inches here at WDAY. So within our forecast range, at least, we were forecasting 6 to 12, and then last night I saw the forecast is 5 to 10. So John changed it a little bit, and we're in our forecast, but the wind now is the concern, and it's really tough to actually measure that snow because it's blowing all around. And yesterday's snow, we talked about it. It started off as wet, sloppy. When I left work yesterday, it was disgusting out, I guess. I mean, you stepped out of your car and your foot was wet because the snow was just sloppy, and then all of that sloppiness with temperatures in the low 30s, that froze overnight. So when that froze overnight, everything got slippery. That was wet, got slippery, and there's a lot of icy patches on the roads this morning. We got stuck. Our WDAY car got stuck this morning, and it really wasn't much snow. It was just the ice underneath the snow that wouldn't let our tires actually move. So that's the problem on the roads this morning. And as the day goes on, we're going to have the wind that's going to blow over the roads. But also, it is April 5th.
Yeah.
So even if we are standing underneath cloudy skies, the sun should be intense enough to help the roads a little bit by the evening commute. So that is good news. But
Good. Cool. But we're dealing with that wind is going to be a big thing,
Yes.
especially if you're trying to drive anywhere out of town. It's going to be almost a no-go at all.
Yeah, interstates are still closed from Canada down to South Dakota.
Yep, I-29, Canada, down to the South Dakota state line.
And
then
then
from Fargo to Bismarck,
Bismarck.
I-94 is closed down this morning.
And no
too.
travel is advised pretty much for the entire area. And like you said, it's worse out in open country. The wind can blow more, the snow can blow more. In town, it's not good either, but out of town, of course, it's much worse. So, yeah.
We do have a little ray of sunshine coming our way once we get past this, though, right?
Upper 30s for the weekend, low 40s possible. And then all of next week, great melting weather. Temperatures in the 40s, maybe close to 50 degrees a couple of days.
Nice.
I can't believe I'm saying that. Isn't that exciting? And then overnight lows will be at or below freezing, which is perfect for melting. That's what we want. We want warm afternoons and cold nights, so we don't melt too fast. That's the pace we want, though. We want, of course, the warm afternoons, cold nights, and let's for a slow melt, and that's what we need. And it just looks really nice next week. No big storms, just have to get through today. Tomorrow we have to dig out, and then Friday starting to look much better.
Yeah.
So
fingers crossed that this is our last big blast of winter.
Let's hope so.
Fingers
Let's hope
crossed. All right, we're going to get to spring eventually. Let's talk about some of the closures going on today. Most schools around the area closed again today. As wind begins picking up, travel conditions going to be dangerous, like you said, Dillon. So a quick heads up on some of those closures in case you don't already know. In the FM Metro, West Fargo, remote learning days, Moorhead schools, all closed. Grand Forks, East Grand Forks, also remote learning. NDSU, UND, they're closed on the campus through the rest of the week. MSU Moorhead, closed through tomorrow. Now, all non-emergency city offices in the FM Metro also closed today. They're going to be opening again tomorrow at noon. And then MAT bus services also unavailable today because of all of the snow, but they will resume tomorrow at noon.
flights are canceled, at least most of them. You can check your flight. Don't go to the airport without looking. Of course, with the wind and the snow. Just to be expected, honestly, at this
Not
point.
a surprise. All right, we also are seeing reports of accidents from people that are trying to drive in these conditions. We got a report of a semi that slid off I-94 near Rothsay, Minnesota. Troopers say the big rig got caught in the snow and the ice, slid off the road. The driver taken to the hospital, but is expected to be okay.
And there was another crash. The State Patrol and police have been responding to crashes since snow began to fall yesterday. And actually, when we were out for a live shot, State Patrol vehicle officer came and visited with us, and he was like, "Hey, you guys okay?" And of course we were okay and everything, but he was saying a lot of slippery spots out there for sure, and he's just going car to car. They're everywhere.
pretty much.
There's a reason why interstates are closed.
So don't be that person that gets
Yeah,
stuck.
don't be the person that gets stuck.
Or
Yes.
worse, hurt.
Exactly.
Right now, cities across the valley are issuing snow emergencies, making plans as we continue to dig out of this winter storm. Grand Forks, East Grand Forks, Detroit Lakes, all have declared snow emergencies. Those emergencies went into effect overnight. They're going to be in place until the roads are cleared off. So during these emergencies, make sure you're not parking on city streets because you could get ticketed or towed. And then also in the FM area, people are being told to avoid parking on streets to make sure all the snow crews can get that snow removed, because you don't want all those big piles all over the neighborhood roads and that
Yeah,
kind of thing.
no, for sure. And download our Storm Tracker app. I actually have it pulled up. You
Look at
don't
that.
have it. This is way better than the generic weather app you have on your phone. I know there's an Apple weather app that comes with all Apple phones, and the other day it was saying we're going to hit 70 degrees next week. We will not hit 70 degrees next week.
Darn.
Yeah, I'm going to be the bad guy in that situation. But yeah, the 10-day forecast, we have Jared this morning. There he is, Piepenburg. He has a video out there. Everything you need to know, our forecast. We have road closures. We have delays up there on the top here. So a lot of different things. Whatever you need, it's on the Storm Tracker app, and it's free to download.
Yeah.
And it's just a good tool to have here. And yeah, our forecast for next week, like I said, you probably can't see that, but there's a lot of 40s.
Go check it out on.
Yeah, you gotta go
the Storm
check it out.
Tracker
You
weather
gotta
app,
check it
right,
out.
Dillon?
Okay,
All right,
yeah, of course.
all right. Also, kind of an interesting story tomorrow. A couple big concerts are supposed to be in town. Red Hot Chili Peppers, Lil Wayne. Chili Peppers are supposed to play at the Fargo Dome. Lil Wayne at the Shields Arena. They're still scheduled to go on as planned, and hopefully by then things have kind of calmed down. But one side effect of this whole thing is the tickets, the remaining tickets for the concerts are apparently going down in prices. So if you
Yeah.
want to see the Chili Peppers, you could potentially get a ticket for like $50. It's going to be in the back. But
Yeah,
still.
well, that's Ticketmaster, and if you go to like the resale sites, I actually was looking myself last night, and like there's SeatGeek or Vivid Seats, you can get it for like $10.
Really?
Now, yes, seriously, I looked, and
Wow.
those are legit because I was looking at it, almost bought one, but then you get your ticket through Ticketmaster. I'm just saying, there's a lot of cheap tickets out there if you want to score a nice concert.
Hopefully the interstates are all opened and ready for people.
Let's
that
hope
are
so.
coming
But
out
yeah, of
town.
course, with the breeze still a little breezy tomorrow, it's going to be tough, but we'll see how tomorrow afternoon goes.
All right, Dylan, we appreciate updates on all the weather stuff we got going. We got a
You
couple other
betcha.
headlines to go through this morning, but we're going to keep tracking all the weather.
Have fun.
Thanks, Dylan. All right, there is a major development for you out of Raymond, Minnesota today. That's where that train derailment happened last week. Trains there are now back up and running again. We broke that news of the derailment last week. It caused an evacuation of the town. The Candy-Ojai Sheriff's Office now says the tracks are ready for service, but while they are physically fine, an investigation crew is still on site there, and they're going to have a preliminary report expected sometime in the next few weeks with more details on what's going on there, what caused the crash, how they've made things safer. Crews are also working hard right now to unload cargo from those derailed cars and get that back to where it was originally going. All right, big national story, of course, we're following the Donald Trump saga. This morning we are getting more insight on those state charges against the former president. He pleaded not guilty to 34 state felony charges that he faked business records and tried to hide the source of hush money payments. All this leading up to the 2016 presidential election. A charge of falsifying business records is typically a misdemeanor in New York, but the charge can be upgraded to a felony if it is tied to another crime such as tax or campaign finance violations. The district attorney, Alvin Bragg, says he's bringing the case now because of new evidence. Bragg did not say what that evidence was, though, but he did lay out a scheme involving Trump's attorneys at the time and David Pecker. Pecker ran American Media Inc. and is accused of helping Trump cover up potentially damaging stories. This story is far from over, of course. It's going to be a headline in the news for weeks to come, if not months, so we're going to continue to follow it as it develops. Also, today, Hot Mic with Dom Izzo. You can watch that from 9 to 11 this morning on WDAY Extra and Inform.com. Speaking of our website, you can get an all-access pass right now to Inform.com for 99 cents a month for your first 3 months, so go and take advantage of that. You can get all of your latest local headlines, sports stories, and most importantly right now, all of your weather updates as well. So take advantage of that. Just go to inform.com/subscribe to get that deal. Remember to join us for all of our other newscasts throughout the day. Dillon will be back at 11 o'clock. Also, Lisa will be on the 11 o'clock news today. You're going to get your latest updates on the weather there. And then we have you covered again starting at 4, 5, 6, 9, and 10 o'clock. Join us again on First News tomorrow morning from 5 to 7. We'll see you then. Until then, please stay safe. Don't travel if you don't need to. And just stay inside, stay warm, and wait out this winter storm. Spring will be here eventually.